So what we talk about on today's episode? Well, I think Bruce Springsteen summed it up correctly. Getting an audience is hard, sustaining an audience is hard, and it demands a consistency of thought, of purpose, and of action over a long period of time. But this will blow your mind because we talk about in today's episode how to nail your marketing and message every single day, every single time, so you have the right relationship with it, so your success is inevitable. And so it's just me today with a quick 20 minutes of high energy. And I mean, borrow some of it, borrow the confidence, borrow my light and put it into yours because I gave you every ounce of it today and I am drenched in sweat. So I'm going to and I'm going to get into the episode. So let's cue the intro. Everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Mind of George Show, the greatest podcast on the planet. And I just believe that's true because I've spent the last 4 hours outlining this short episode that's probably going to be 20 minutes, but that's what goes into this, and I'm stoked. By the way, my tank is so full because every single one of you is DMing me on Instagram. You're DMing me your wins. You're asking me your questions. A few of you have popped into the mastermind, getting event tickets. Like, I am so happy because you've realized that winning is a choice, and it's not one that's won alone. It comes by surrounding yourself with the right people that see your potential, don't take credit for your results, and help you get to the next level. And it kind of ties into what we're going to talk about today because this one's going to kind of blow your mind. So here's the key to getting your messaging to work. You first have to understand the definition of marketing. My dear friend Brad Costanza said this to me, and I don't remember who he got it from, but marketing is just a game of guessing and testing. Just a game of guessing and testing. And I have a ton of notes down the page for you on what this actually looks like, but it is so imperative to understand. And I had a call last night because one of you DM'd me on Instagram, and instead of answering it, I video called you. And then I was talking to you on a video call, and I was like, okay, I got 30 minutes. Let me do a 30-minute coaching call. And I find this trap all the time. People become obsessed with this thought that there's always something else to learn. There's something more. There's something else. I have to do more. And unfortunately, that's the broken paradigm of marketing. Most of my competitors spend all of their money teaching you that what you have is not enough, that you don't know anything, that you need them, that they need to give you this step or this process. And quite frankly, it's bullshit. That's their job that makes them money because they convince you that you're one down, that you're broken, and then you get in this consumption cycle that I always need more, I always need more, I always need more. And the truth is that if you've had 5 customers, you don't need any more. You need to double down and start falling in love with your intuition and the real world feedback that comes from doing marketing correctly. So let me read you a quote. And this quote is from Bruce Springsteen. And it sums up marketing so well. Getting an audience is hard. Sustaining an audience is hard. It demands a consistency of thought, of purpose, and of action over a long period of time. Now, Bruce Springsteen has one of the most illustrious careers when it comes to music. It is a perfect example of a creative project that is subject to the demands of the marketplace. If Bruce just made music that Bruce wanted to make, well, that would be his hobby and his passion. But he's a musician, so Bruce has to create music and get in relationship with the fans and get their feedback and make adjustments based on what's coming in and what's coming out to iterate, to evolve over multiple decades to be able to stay at that level. See, a lot of talent goes unseen or withers on the vine or dissipates away or nobody even knows it exists. And that's because it doesn't have the consistency to care for that soil and put in the hard work, time over time, to make it bloom again and again. And so when we think about marketing, marketing is unapologetically telling the world as much as possible how amazing what you have to offer is and how much you believe in its possibility to help them get the same result. That's marketing. And here's the truth. It's always a guess. The world changes every day. The paradigm, social media channels, marketing, commercials, world events, traumatic events, and everything determines and dictates how marketing is effective and why people lose is because people get romantic about what worked yesterday. And the example I give is I gave this on the mastermind call the other day. It's like saying, hey, I was a varsity football player in high school, so that means 20 years later, if you put me on the field, I'm still going to be at that level. No. You won. That's amazing. But just because you won 20 years ago doesn't mean you win today. And just because you won yesterday, you're not going to win today. What worked in marketing yesterday will most likely not work today because marketing is a living, breathing organism. It is a living, breathing organism. And in order for you to be successful, you have to understand that this game is a game of guessing and testing to find the right wrapping paper for the right audience at the right moment until it doesn't work anymore, and then you have to change it again. And that is this game. It is a never-ending game. There's no finish line. There's no I made it, because trust me, I've gotten to the point where I thought I made it, and I made it go backwards in my bank account because I got complacent and romantic. And so the most important thing for you to remember about how to dial in your messaging, how to dial in your marketing, how to nail what it is that you want is to practice it and test it as much as humanly possible, to take the feedback from the world and to make adjustments as you go. So before I get into the show, I have to do our normal spiel here, which is celebrate wins. I'm going to read some reviews. I'm going to read 4 of them today because they're short. They make me really, really happy, and I have them right in front of me. So thank you for leaving a review. If you have not reviewed the podcast yet, please go review the show on your favorite platform. Pick the one you're listening to and leave me a review, an honest one. I actually read every single one of them. If you want it easier, you can go to ratethispodcast.com/George, and it'll make it easier for you. So here's what we got. So James the Hulk says, I love George's podcast. I listen to my way to work, get so much value from his content. Thank you so much. A Acre 2020 says, I just recently found George and his podcast. He is real and gives actionable advice and inspiration. No fluff here, not to mention his uplifting energy and authenticity. Every entrepreneur should listen to this podcast. Then I got a podcast review over here from Cindy2410. I have been learning from George so much. I love his kindness and authenticity. Thank you for what you do. Cindy, thank you for taking the time to leave a review. And then I will end with this one from Enad67. And this one says, you cannot sacrifice yourself and expect to win. It's gems like this that make the Mind of George podcast worth every minute invested. George is honest, sincere, and genuine. He leads with his heart and shares how to ethically scale your business. Now it's up to you to take action and make your dreams come true. Click play and subscribe. What's stopping you from doing it? Well, thank you, Enad. I appreciate it immensely. And so now let's get into this topic, into this thought, into this theory on how easy it is to get your messaging to work. And I think for me, the most important thing that I've fallen in love with is that my messaging will never work. Because it's never, oh, I figured it out and it's going to work forever. It's having a very platonic relationship with my marketing and with my messaging, knowing every day that part of my job is to iterate, is to change it, is to be creative, is to find new wrapping paper. And I no longer rest my head on like, oh, what I did last time worked. And I struggled as an entrepreneur for probably close to 5 or 6 years because I would get frustrated. I would sprint so hard to get something to work because I was dependent on it. And then it would work, and then I would be like, all right, I'm just going to keep doing that thing. But I was basically being stagnant, and I was sitting back passively waiting for something to happen, but the market kept running away and success kept running away and winning kept running away because I hung my hat on what worked a week ago, which no longer works again. And this was a violent lesson that it took me to learn. And I mean, I went from having $300,000 months down to $10,000 months and back up. I've had some of the biggest deals and then some of the droughtiest times in my career because I didn't have a healthy relationship with what marketing was. And I don't care what people tell you. Marketing is not the tools or the strategies or tactics. Those are things that help you get your messaging across. But for me, marketing is having this unwavering belief in what you do and what you offer, and then showing up as consistently and bright as possible in the world, wherever those people are, to find them and to bring them in. And if you have to shine your light brighter, great. If you have to change the color, great. If you have to show up so confident in their results that they borrow some of it from you to get theirs, great. That's what marketing is. because marketing is active. It's not passive. You need to think of your marketing and message as the human body, right? Because I tell people there's only like 3 colors of crayons in my crayon box, so I don't like to complicate this. So the human body is the best analogy that I can come up with. Our bodies require attention to function, right? We need food. We need water. We need sleep. If we hurt something, we have to repair it. If we get a cut, we have to look at it. If our check engine light comes on, then we have to pay attention to it. But if I was just to take a human and sit them and lock them in a room and just let them be, they would literally fade away and die. And marketing and messaging is no different. And so the way that I look at it in the human body, what is the most important thing that we need to function? What is the most important thing that we need to survive? Minus the sleep, the food, the nutrition, and it's oxygen. It's breathing. And so for me, in the world of marketing and messaging, your oxygen is your daily committed action that you take every single day, where you choose to shine your light out, where you choose to tell everybody, where you choose to sell every coffee shop barista, every waiter, every person you drive by. I've even been at stoplights, like literally red lights. And somebody rolled down their window and they said, "Hey, nice Jeep." I was like, "Oh, that's amazing, man. I appreciate it. What do you do?" And he's like, "Oh, I do this." I'm like, "You should listen to my podcast." I have done that at stoplights in the middle of Montana because why not? Because every single time I unapologetically share what I do and it can serve and help people, it builds my confidence, my momentum, but then I get real world feedback. Like, "Oh, what about this?" or "What about this?" or "I could use help with this." And I get all the information I need to continually change the wrapping paper of my messaging. And so you have to look at your marketing and your messaging, like your actions in sharing it every single day, as the oxygen required for your body to function. You need to get real world feedback. You have to realize that when you send it in that direction, there's no air over there, so don't go there again. But when you send it in that direction, there's a ton of air, and you breathe in as much as you can, take a big breath, and keep going again. Marketing and messaging is active, not passive. And I watch people get stuck. Here's my messaging. Here's who I'm talking to. And they spend 3 months behind the scene designing all these things, writing copy, building frameworks, titling this, changing this. And then they go out to the world and the world doesn't even hear it. They don't see it. They don't pay attention because it wasn't built on them. You can't design something to meet your people where they need you to meet them if you're designing it without them. And the easiest way to design it with them is to literally use every opportunity of your day to share your marketing, to share your messaging, and to make the iterations and adjustments required for it to land in that moment with the people you're sharing it with at the time you're sharing it so that they take an action. And then you have to know and love that if you go to that same place tomorrow and those same people are there, you're probably going to need a different message. And that's okay. And the moment you understand that is the moment that you win. So what are some of the things that make this easy, non-negotiably? Patience and consistency is the absolute key to getting your messaging and marketing to work. And we look at examples like big companies like Apple or Reebok or supplement companies or food companies, and we're like, "Oh, look, I want to be like them." But if you go back 19 years to when they started and you look, you've realized that they've continually honed and honed and honed and honed and honed and honed and honed their message. They've consistently shown up every single day. They've released information to the world. They've gotten feedback on what worked and what hasn't worked. And then they've had the patience to make adjustments and give it enough time to fully bake. Or when they planted it in the ground, they gave it enough love and attention even when they couldn't see the plant, knowing that it was growing through that soil and eventually it would break the surface and become a plant. That is one of the keys to nailing your marketing and messaging. And it's really important to understand that marketing is really just a game of guessing and testing while being unapologetically yourself. Guessing and testing while being unapologetically yourself. Now, here's why. You have to 100% believe in everything you have to say or do, because if you don't, it's an uncontrollable variable. Because you could have nailed your marketing and messaging out to the world, but then doubted it yourself And because it took 2 or 3 days extra, you already changed the course. But if you just remained consistent, it would have been your breakthrough. There's one thing that you can control. You can control your belief in what you do. You can control your confidence in what you do. And that energy transmutes into the world. And so when I record this podcast thinking that 100 million people are listening. And yet, not 100 million people listen yet, but I guarantee you this podcast could help 100 million people based on what I put in it. And I believe it and I own it, and I'm going to keep asking you to share it, just like I did in the last episode. So my ask for you today is to take this episode and please send it to 5 people and give them a reason to listen to it. Help me spread this message. Help it go. It's going to help you. It's going to help them. It's going to help me. Okay? And so what we have to understand is that it's going to take time for us to dial in our messaging, to see what resonates with our audience. And we need to keep testing, engaging reactions from our audience to see what lands and what doesn't. And this is why I love marketing, because every day is a clean slate. And the people that you see winning don't win because they hit a home run. It's not because they're like, okay, I went into the secret layer of world domination, and I know if I do this and this, and I say this and this, that it works. No. They've shown up every day and made as many adjustments as possible. Like every single person I know that has a successful ad account. And I've been behind ad accounts that spend $5 million a month. And on a daily basis, they were testing 300 different pieces of creative. 300 images, 300 captions, and of that, 2 won. And then they would take the 2, they would run the 2 as long as they worked, and then every day they would introduce 300 more tests. And that really is what marketing looks like. And so your job is to be in action and in the game and on the field as much as possible. In the DMs on Instagram, following other people's content, sending them messages, asking them questions, going on people's podcasts, going into Facebook groups, sending out emails, creating the 2-way value-based long-term relationship that we say is a marketing law that you must understand, because the 2-way relationship is what gives you the feedback and the iterations required to make it work. And this is a game of attrition. You have to earn every single customer. You have to own every piece of marketing. You have to build your business all the way up to whatever size you want, one by one. Even if you're doing 100 sales a day, it's still one person at a time. And the faster you fall in love and remember that, the faster it works. I look at every day, every opportunity, every conversation as an opportunity for me to build a relationship, to see if I can serve or support somebody, and then to insert myself with a solution. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But either way, I'm controlling what I can control, which is my ability to actively pursue my marketing and messaging every single day. And so this game is an extremely long game of pivots. And once you find something that lands, you dig into it, you expand upon it, you clarify, and you change the wrapping paper as needed. And then if it doesn't work again, it's not the present on the inside that didn't work. They don't know the present's in there. It's just the wrapping paper that might need to be adjusted to get them excited so they can open the box and get to the present. And so the most important thing that I want you to remember after listening to this today and every day that you go forward is that dialing in your messaging and dialing in your marketing is an iterative process. It requires you to show up and be in communication with your ideal audience every single day, multiple times a day, and have patience knowing that you're going to figure it out over time. But I got asked a question the other day and I said, hey, how can you tell, or what was the defining moment where you knew you were on the right path? And here's my answer. The moment I know I'm on the right path, I'm no longer on the right path. But every day that I wake up and I'm like, I have no clue what's going to work today, if this is it, I'm building something new, and that is the right path for me. And so what you have to fall in love with is that you're playing a lifelong game of chess, or you are running a lifelong race with no finish line. And so your job every day, mile to mile, is to test what works, make adjustments to what doesn't, and keep going so that you can run another one tomorrow and another one tomorrow and another one tomorrow. And this is the game. Whether it's you as a solopreneur, you with a small team, or you with a big team, Either way, every single person has to understand and know this to be true. The market changes every day. Ads change every day. Creative changes every day. Your marketing and messaging will change every day because it's the wrapping paper that will get their attention. But what you have is your present, and your present is on the inside, and that will never change. But your job is to make sure that you wrap it with whatever paper is needed to get the right people at the right time to open that present. Because if you sit back and you overplan or overcomplicate, or you wait until your messaging is perfect, or you wait until you're 100% confident that that wrapping paper is going to work, it's not, and it never will be. Your success is going to come from doing it every single day as much as possible, making as many adjustments as possible, while unapologetically owning what you do, knowing that your light is the difference. And here is what I'm going to tell you to do as we wrap this episode, because I'm keeping it short. I'm getting you into momentum, and I want you to put this into practice. Your work today from me is simple. So first, send this episode to 5 people. Send it to 5 people. You save it. Listen to it as much as you want. Whenever you feel alone, like it didn't work, know that it can't work in that moment. You have to create something else and find the win. You have to remind yourself every day that success is a choice and it's an action. And when you nail your success today, it runs away while you're sleeping, and you have to go find it again tomorrow. And so I want you to send this episode to 5 people for me. And that is for me and for you. Send it to 5 people. And then I want you to save it for you. And then here's what I want you to do. I want you to find whatever evidence you need in your day, from me, from somebody else. Like if you DM me and you're like, hey, I need a boost of confidence, I'll give it to you. I'll record a fucking alarm clock in the morning to wake you up to with my voice, even though I can't stand it. But if that works for you, that's fine. But I want you to find whatever evidence you need to know that what you do and what you have is the difference maker. And if you don't believe that, well, you either need to stop doing this or figure out what evidence you need to remind yourself that you should do this, because you can't sell when you're one down. You can't sell something you're not confident in. And you definitely can't succeed if you don't believe in yourself. And so I want you to find whatever evidence it is for you that lets you realize that your job is to shine your light as far and as bright as possible, regardless of the results in the world. And if somebody complains, hand them a pair of sunglasses and shine it brighter. That's the way that this game is played. Your light will never hurt anybody. Your brightness will never make anybody feel dim. It will eliminate their own shadows, and sometimes that's scary for people. But your job is to every day find every opportunity to unapologetically own, love, and believe in what you do, and share it with the world as much as possible to get its response and its feedback, so you can make adjustments and keep dialing in this game, in this long game of success, this long race that has no finish line, that every day you play it, you can make adjustments, you can make iterations, it will work, and then tomorrow morning you start again. And once you have that relationship, once you understand that that's the game that you're playing, it becomes a lot easier to play it. Instead of waking up and being like, oh, I lost it. It didn't work again. What am I going to do today? You just get to remember from this point forward that whatever worked today probably isn't going to work tomorrow. And you have to love that that's the game. Remember, as my buddy Alex Sharfin says, and I'm going to butcher this like crazy, you're an entrepreneur. Or you want to become one, or you're listening to this because you want to do something different other than punching a time clock for somebody else. And so what you're saying is that you want to go out into the future and declare something to be true, and then come back into the present and build it. And that is a game of unknown. That is a game of ambiguity, and it's your job to create the clarity through your actions, to create your messaging through your actions, to market it every single day as it becomes clearer and clearer, and then as it gets closer and closer, to keep going and keep going and keep going, and then when you hit it, you realize that's level 1 and you go again. But when our job is to go out into the world and into the future and build something that's never been built before, no one can tell you what the messaging will look like. Nobody can tell you what the marketing will look like. And they can tell you the tools and strategies and tactics and convince you all day that if you do this one thing, it will work, and it won't. It'll give you a temporary hit. And then they'll be like, now the next thing, and now the next thing, because what you must understand is that your ability to show up and shine your light daily is the secret to your success, no matter what the tool or strategy and tactic is, because only you can do it. And so I want you to understand that marketing is just a game of guessing and testing. And I want you to fall in love with it so you can have a multi-decade career showing up, shining your light, and serving people at the highest level with what you have to offer. I'm going to take a sip of coffee because I don't think I took a breath that whole time. That felt really good. I'm like fired up with you today. And the truth is like, I want 1,000 more of you today to listen to this show. Like I'm going to fill a stadium with all of us and we're going to party. We're going to have fun. I have to find a stadium in Montana. In the meantime, we have the event, but I'm pretty sure the event, when you're listening to this, it's probably on sale right now, but I think we're going to sell out in 36 hours based on how many people are on the waiting list. And so make sure you get on the waiting list if you want to come party with us in person. Make sure you keep following us on the socials and let us know if you want to come to our events or do this work with us, because I'm always capping these things so we can party at this level. But I'm just fired up. I am fired up because I'm ready to see you guys again, hug you, party, do it again like we did in April. And I'm more excited for you to understand that you've always been the secret. And I am here. My team is here. We're not here to steal your success. We're here to silently push you, and you get all the glory because we win when you win. And I want you to take what I said in this episode to heart. I spent a lot of time with a lot of really, really successful people. And I am, relatively successful, but there's levels to this game. And I was sitting at lunch the other day with 3 people who combined in a year do about $200 million. And the thoughts and the feelings that I have are no different than the thoughts and the feelings that they have, and are no different than the thoughts and the feelings that you have. And they're not different. It's really their ability to show up consistently over a long period of time and never accept no as an answer. If it doesn't work, change it, do something different. If it doesn't work, change it, do it again. If it does work, keep doing it while we add more until it doesn't, and then iterate. And it really is a game of patience and consistency over a measurable long period of time that creates the results that everybody is seeking. And so that is my ask of you today, is to go shine your light, hand sunglasses to anybody who says it's too bright, and then shine it brighter. But other than that, I'm out. I'm going to hit the gym. I absolutely love you to pieces. I will see you in the next episode. Remember that relationships will always beat algorithms, so I will either see you in the next episode or you will hear me in your earballs. And now it's time to cue my beautiful outro, and I cannot wait to listen, read, or watch your DMs when you send them to me on Instagram. So it's an open door. It's just me on there. I'm going to keep doing it. So hit me up on the gram. Share this with 5 friends. Go do what I said and shine your light, and I will catch you guys on the flip side.